Okay, hello, Terry. Please tell people out there the plot of your movie, The Last Rifleman.
Well, what we have is it's an old-fashioned road movie. It's a war movie. It's a drama. It's and hopefully there's a lot of comedy in there as well. I like to think it's a good mix. It's effectively it's a story about a young soldier who spends a lifetime with a secret, and at the age of 92 and three quarters, very important, the secret is it becomes too much of a burden. And as a war veteran, he decides for the first time in his life to make the trek to Normandy for the commemorations of D-Day in 2019. So it's the 75th anniversary of D-Day. And at that age, the journey is not simple. So our character Artie, played by the magnificent Pierce Brosnan, almost unrecognizable with prosthetics, but you can still see the twinkle, the spark in those eyes. And yep, he has to go travel the length of Ireland across the Channel and eventually to the north of France. So it's got hurdles along the way. He encounters many people along the way. It's like I say, it's got sadness, it's got levity, and it does, I think, like it's a performance from Pierce that is a revelation.
It's he's unrecognizable. If you just walk someone's watching it, someone walks through, you say, "Hey, who's that?" They're not gonna guess Pierce Brosnan if they have more than just like less than 5 seconds. How long did it take to apply that makeup onto him?
2.5 hours every morning, Pierce had to
Oh,
go through that. Yes. So while I was sitting making my shot lists and planning for the day, and eating my breakfast, Pierce was already in the makeup trailer, and he had never done that before. And I think it was a daunting task because effectively Pierce was filming every day of the shoot, virtually. So he had to do that, and I think 30, 40 minutes at the end of the day to take it off. So it's an exhausting process, but I thought it was definitely worth it because I think that team, the special effects team, transformed him just enough to make it, and then his performance is what made everything else believable.
very nice. And his character met Ennio Morricone, which I thought was very cool. Do you
Well,
have a favorite
that was
track by Ennio Morricone?
well the piece we have, Gabriel's oboe that we use in the movie. Luckily, we got to use it in the movie. That, of course, is one of my favorites. When I was a student, I had the soundtrack to Once Upon a Time in America, and I think it was a cassette, so the tape eventually wore out and snapped because I played it so much. So I mean, where do you begin? I mean, that man was a composing genius. And Kevin Fitzpatrick, who wrote our screenplay, he met Ennio Morricone
Mm.
in Italy, and that's how it came into our story. So it was almost verbatim the conversation that our scriptwriter had with Ennio in the hotel at the bar. And I thought that was very clever how he seamlessly wove it into our story.
Well, this YouTube channel is called Mystic and Severe, which is a track by Ennio Morricone.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
From which movie?
Death Rides a Horse originally, but it was also used in Inglorious Bastards.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. The man's a genius.
Oh, yes. So what do you think people will respond to in the film? Is it the heart? Is it the humor? Is it a little bit of A, a little bit of B? Tell me what people will respond to here.
I hope there's a good balance because we knew that if we had 90 minutes of Pierce and his character Artie on a journey that was full of pain and regret and sorrow and difficulty, that could be a hard watch. And we were very careful to intersperse it with moments of fun and character along the ways. I hope people, of course, will find that warmth. I think one thing would be beautiful if people watch this movie and do want to go and do more research into the stories of the young men that went to war in the Second World War and other combats as well, because everyone is a life and everyone has a story to tell. Either those that didn't survive and those that were lucky enough on one way to survive the war, but it never left them. So I think it has I think also there's a big message there that people who are in their 90s or their whatever, veterans, older people, they're not some kind of alien race. They're just people who were born that little bit earlier and they have got so much to say. if they are listened to. So I think that's very, very important as well. But I think that, yeah, our balance being effectively a contemporary story with flashbacks to the war, I think, well, yeah, I want people to enjoy it. I think we don't want people to feel that it's a burden or anything like that. There's got to be something to kind of lift your spirits. And that's, in times when people want to go to movies to see something that makes you feel good at the end, I think our story actually does that, despite the difficult terrain that it treads.
I think it does too. I would say I didn't feel like it was bludgeoned over the head at all.
Good, good, good. Yeah, we were very careful to make sure that there was a balance there, just to as our story keeps flashing back or flipping back to Belfast, where Artie has now he's on his journey, but we keep going back to those characters, who are trying to figure out where's this guy gone. And those moments of levity, I think, and some of the other characters that are in the old people's home that he's left, that there's just good humor there, which and it's an Irish story, so you got to get the Irish humor in there to keep people. Yeah, it's what people want, I think, and it's we will always find something to laugh about here through the pain.
Oh, right. Okay, yes. And so I'm sure this is your favorite Pierce Brosnan performance of all time, as it should be. But what's your
Yes,
second favorite Pierce Brosnan performance?
I have two second favorites.
Okay, I,
The
I will allow it.
okay, second favorite is the Matador. When I saw the Matador and when I saw Pierce walking across that hotel lobby in cowboy boots and little skinny briefs and his tummy hanging out, and I thought, and he jumps into the pool with the shark, I was thinking, I have never seen anything like this before. And I thought that guy, there was such a lack of vanity. He just invested everything in that performance and the comedy, the comic timing. Oh my goodness. And it's a film, lots of people don't know it. Go find the Matador. There's Hope Davis, Pierce, and Greg Kinnear. And the comic timing, the relationship between the three is just beautiful. And my other
All right, what
second,
what year is that from? Is that a recent movie or
oh, the Matador was, I think, late. No, it's probably early 2000s,
okay?
I think. And yeah, it's wonderful. I mean, again, to see people go, oh, what Pierce doing a comedy? Go see this film. He plays an assassin who's having a breakdown, effectively. So he still has a gun in his hand every so often, but it's totally unexpected. I loved him. The other revelation was when he did Seraphim Falls with Liam Neeson, and Pierce with the hair down to here. Look, it was just transformed. And again, I just love seeing. Of course, all the bonds and all those things are remarkable.
Mm-mm.
They're iconic. But I love seeing actors when they do things that are unexpected. And that those two, Seraphim Falls, but especially the Matador. Go find it. It's worth checking out. You will not be disappointed.
And what's your favorite movie of all time?
Ooh, oh. Does it have to be one? Favorite.
Yes.
I
Just off the top
think
of your head, it's not like definitive.
I either Spartacus
Okay.
or Once Upon a Time in America. So
Oh,
they're
wow.
two,
Very
those are.
different.
Well, yeah, but I remember going to see Once Upon a Time in America in the cinema, and back then there was an interval because it was the
It
full
was
3 hour,
so
40 minute
long.
cut, the proper
Yeah.
cut, not the hashed up job that hit the American screens. It
Right,
was
right.
it was remarkable, but I remember being shocked, stepping out of the cinema, going, what happened? That oh my God. So and when cinema can do that to you, when it can really imbalance you.
Hmm.
But Spartacus, as a kid watching Spartacus, the end of Spartacus with the baby, and it's like he's your son, he's free because of it. If that doesn't make you cry, it's gonna make me cry talking about it. If that doesn't rip your heart out, there's something wrong, you know?
Okay. I
And
love it. Terry, thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure talking to you today.
great, thank you so much. Take care.